Today we're going to talk about 10 stupid things that we did on our deployment that should have probably gotten us. We played Caffeine competitions, and it wasn't just one version of this game, but my favorite version was where we'd sit in the truck and we would play this really dumb game where we would chuck a water bottle and light a cigarette. And whoever lit the cigarette last had to take a Stacker 3, which is like a fat loss pill with a lot of caffeine in it. And I remember that we played this enough that my gunner kept losing one night, and we played this enough that we actually thought he might go into cardiac arrest. He'd get in the gun and then be like, "Oh my God, I gotta throw up," and then he'd get back in the gun and be like, "Oh my God, I gotta pee my pants," and then, "Oh, I gotta shit my mouth," and it was like he lost like control of his bodily functions, and his whole body was freaking out, and it was like at the point we were considering a medevac. The only time he lost that night was when our security team leader showed up and played, and he lost. And so we were playing some dumb games. We would also take no-dos, which is like caffeine pills or energy shots, Rippets. They gave us these like tiny cans, like by the case of Rippets, and we would drink those. And I remember like people going to the point where they would throw up because of the amount of caffeine. It was just, looking back, it was really, really dumb. But also we were working like nocturnal security patrols through the middle of the night, and you're tired and you're bored. It's really hard to stay awake when you're just sitting in a truck in the dark of the Afghanistan desert doing literally nothing. Next up, we got the sleep deprivation Olympics. Look, imagine, if you will, that you're driving a 30,000 pound, 20,000 pound, 6-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive truck that has a mine roller that sticks out like 15 feet in front of the vehicle through the desert, and you haven't slept. And I'm talking not like, "Oh, I didn't sleep very well last night, boo-hoo, let me have a little bit of caffeine." I'm talking like you've been driving for 35 hours, half of which is just sitting in the desert, wondering what the hell is happening, waiting on someone to tell you can go again on a drive that should be like 2 to 4 hours. You're exhausted. There was one point in time we had like everything on the convoy had been blown up or broken or whatever, and we had to wait for another convoy, a QRF, a quick reaction force, to come to us with an extra wrecker to tow whatever the most recent thing that broke or blew up was, because we physically didn't have the capacity to tow it, and we weren't just going to leave it in the desert. And so we're waiting on them. It's pitch blackout, middle of desert. I mean, like, we're all in blackout mode, which means all the lights are off, and there is not light anywhere. Like, no light pollution. So it is dark, and we're trying to stay awake, and I'm the lead vehicle, and I'm struggling. Like, I'm splashing water on my face. I'm doing the whole like boot camp, like hand sanitizer in the face, like smell it. My gunner's kicking me. We're having conversations. We're telling jokes. We're doing everything but letting somebody else get in the driver's seat, apparently, because that would have been way crazier, I guess, than letting me drive when I'm so exhausted I might as well be hammered drunk. And it's failing. I'm dozing off. So finally I think they give up and they let me doze. And I mean, it must have been like 3 minutes later. You know that like phase where you're so tired that like being woken up, you're just totally out of it, right? Like you're like almost into REM, but like not quite. And so you're just like the worst level of tired. That was me. When they finally called over, "Hey, we think we see you," and they tell me to turn my lights on. And so they're like, my vehicle commander is like hitting me, and he's like, hey, turn on the lights, turn on the lights, turn on the lights. And it was probably like the infrared, the IR lights, but whatever. They're telling me to do this. And I'm so out of it that I apparently like wake up-ish and just hit the parking brake off and push drive and just like stomp the gas. And so there's this convoy coming dead at us in the pitch dark of the night with no lights on. And I'm supposed to like turn my lights on so they know how far they are from us and confirm that we're the right convoy that they're seeing in the desert. And instead, I just like, all the lights still off, punch it towards them. Luckily, they woke me up before I ran head on into another convoy, but like that level of sleep deprivation, and we're just out enjoying life. The next one up here is laser dazzler battles. They gave us these like military grade, like these really industrial, big one and small one, they call them laser dazzlers, and they were for escalation of force. So if someone's coming into your cordon, they're getting too close or whatever, you're supposed to like, flash your lights at them and then do this and then flash panels at them. And if they got too close, you'd hit them with the laser dazzler. And the idea is you hit it into the windshield, apparently it scatters all over, but like it gets the driver and he's like, oh, and then he stops. And they tell us that these things are so powerful that if you were to blast somebody with it from within like 50 yards, they would probably just throw up. They'd like lose control. And so we get bored. I don't know if anything was safe. Like we laser dazzled camels. We laser dazzled goats. We laser dazzled stray dogs. It'd be the middle of the night and you'd be like, bzzzt, and someone would be like, what are you dazzling? You're like, you know, in broad daylight, you couldn't necessarily see it. So you could get away with like shooting it at a camel to like get them to go out of the way. Like if they were in the road, you'd be like, and they'd leave. I'm not saying I did any of this, but I definitely have a video of, they gave us these like laser protection glasses. And I don't know if I was like falling asleep and like, hey, this will wake me up, or like, let's just test this thing. But I have a video of like my vehicle commander like blasting me in the face with the laser dazzler. And I think we were trying to see like who could last the longest. And like newsflash, it was like 3 seconds. Didn't throw up, but like stupid. Next up, we got ignoring safety rules. It was really hot in Afghanistan, so it didn't take long to be like, I'm not wearing my groin protector in the truck anymore. It's hot. Ear Pro, like, do you want to drive with ear protection in for like 35 hours, or do you want to like take it out and only use it if you're getting like small arms fire? Yep. Well, that of course backfires when you get blown up, but we just didn't wear it all the time. We would take our Kevlars off in the truck because it was kind of like, hey, look, if you get blown up so bad that the Kevlar would have saved you, like you probably anyway, because like it ain't gonna save you if the truck is that messed up. Right? Like the windows can stop like 50 cal rounds. So if something gets through, like it's probably not going to get stopped by your Kevlar. I don't know. We would just cut corners on things. Like you just get to a point where you're just like, whatever. I even remember like one of my vehicle commanders, like comm went down or something, and he like jumps out of the truck. He's like smoking a cigarette as he like runs over to our truck to have a conversation. I'm like, dude, you could have gotten shot. Doesn't care anymore. Next up, we've got things like listening to music in the turret. My gunner got caught once or twice listening to jams. He'd be up in the turret just jamming out, which is not exactly SOP because you're supposed to be able to like hear what's going on, but also in the dead of the night of the desert, like one earbud in, probably not the end of the world. It didn't any of us, but it probably wasn't very smart. Next up, we got climbing everywhere. Now, the climbing is not necessarily, but like we definitely had a thing for like, oh, let's get up on top of that HESCO barrier, which is like what they use as the base perimeters. Hey, let's climb on that equipment. Hey, let's climb on that truck. But this is probably not necessarily like the end of the world, except that I remember one time I'm trying to take a crew served weapon, probably a 240, off the turret of a gun, and I'm up on the roof because like in garrison, when you're like training for all this, that's sometimes these things are not easy to get off the truck. So you have to like climb up on the roof and like you're like trying to pull it off the gun turret. And I could hear bees, and it wasn't bees. We were getting shot at. I was apparently on the top of the truck. I was above the berm. So somebody from the outside of the berm could have seen us, and they're just taking random pop shots. Luckily, nothing got close, but like could have gotten me in trouble. Next up, we got racing through the desert. Long short, I was the lead vehicle, and if anyone knows me, I like to drive. And there were just times that I was always trying to break like my personal record between Marja and Camp Leatherneck, or Camp Leatherneck and Marja. And admittedly, that probably could have resulted in some dangerous things. There are also plenty of times that I got a truck stuck somewhere that I shouldn't have, or not necessarily stuck, but like I would take trucks places that they shouldn't go. The next one up here is not giving a anymore. Like I said, walking between trucks when comm goes down, cigarettes even at night, complacency, just not caring about things. Like after months of like nothing happening, or not necessarily nothing happening, but like nothing serious happening, like everything just becomes normal. All the chaos is just like normalized. That's the whole point of PTSD, right? And so enough of that time goes by, you just kind of deal with it and you make really dumb decisions. That's why the Marine Corps, the whole deployment, everyone just says complacency. They are not wrong. Most military finance books are trash. The one I wrote actually helps service members and vets. So scan the QR code, click the link down below in the description, and grab your free PDF before you waste another paycheck. The second from the end here is nearly rolling trucks. I've got tons of stories of this, but probably the two most prevalent are I hit this, it was an IED hole, like a crater. It was a crater. And it must have been like 6 feet in diameter plus and like 2 to 4 feet deep. It was on our route reconnaissance. It's the middle of the night, and we're I don't remember if I'm having to like turn around or what, but I'm in this intersection, or I'm driving through this intersection, or I'm turning around this intersection or whatever. And I hit it, and it's like the whole damn truck goes whoa, off whatever wheel, to the point that everybody in the truck, I believe, called rollover. You know what? Actually, watch this. I'm going to go see how my deployment journal says about that. Here is verbatim my entry from my deployment journal about that night. June 11th, 2010, at 22:12, I wrote, "Last night, I almost died!" When we were turning around at the intersection of Bear and Marcy, those are the route names, we hit a post-blast IED, and my front right wheel came 4 feet off the deck. I think if I had opened my door, it would have hit the ground. So like picture this big-ass MRAP truck. Like that's how tipped we are. I almost myself, and I should have yelled rollover, lol. And then I said the laser dazzler hit me in the Kevlar, and QV, which was my A gunner, and QV and a 30-pound dumbbell were bouncing around in the truck. And Bug, my actual gunner, was thrown against the comm stack. It was pretty intense. Okay, and then we got this other entry. This is August 17th, 2010 at 19:30. Just got back from a last-minute Sangan run. The CBs got hit by 2 IEDs, SAF, small arms fire, RPG, rocket-propelled grenade, and IDF, indirect fire mortars. They failed their mission, so we finished it for them, and a lot of rough terrain. I almost slid off 2 mountains and had to have a wrecker pull me up one, but it was a beautiful valley/river. We almost ran over some camels crossing the road on our way back. Now, clarity here, assuming this is the same mission that I believe it is, the wrecker was actually a D8 dozer with a chain pulling me up, and I have video of that, or maybe that was a separate time. I don't know. Maybe there's another time that I almost rolled my truck. But we basically, like, the road just gave out, and I just, like, slid down this drop-off, and we all thought we were going to die. Like, we were screaming roll over. I ended up having to strap in. It was a whole mess. I should clarify, like, I was strapped in already, but, like, everybody got out of the truck, except me, to like let us get towed up the thing, and I put all like 5 points of the harness on as snug as humanly possible and cranked everything down and was just like clenching the wheel as they towed me up off this hill, thinking we were gonna roll and die. Final thing on this list is wanting something exciting to happen. Bored Marines become dangerous Marines. And ironically, or interestingly, as you go through my journal, there's like this constant theme of between me and my gunner and people in my truck about how we haven't hit an IED yet. It's this odd thing. It's like we all are just like, we want some excitement. We want some excitement. When's it going to be our turn? When's it going to be our turn? And there's interesting things about that. Like, we're the lead vehicle. So the whole point of us was that we're supposed to navigate, but also if a vehicle does hit an IED, it's supposed to be us to protect like all the logistics trucks. And throughout the deployment, other trucks have been getting blown up instead of us, and it starts to feel some kind of way, right? So at the end of the day, deployment's an interesting thing. We were professional enough to survive and stupid enough to make it interesting. Some of the best times of my life. Semper Fi.